social media in the classroom to students, I try to use a metaphor of a river. And if you think of mainstream media as the main channel of like the Delaware River or the Chesapeake even, and then you think of social media as the tributaries. And so I think it's really important to think about it that way, because what's happening in the digital space is that all the tributaries, those are the influencers. Those are the different people that you follow. And that can be anything. Now they connect back up to the main channel, and that's where you get the cross current of information. I don't know if that's a good metaphor to use for your audience, but the idea is people think it's a spider web. It's not a spider web. It's more like a main channel of information flow with all these little tributaries. Some of them go nowhere. Some of them lead back into the main channel.
And people with, I guess, millions and millions of followers, tens of thousands of followers, have more influence because they have so many people following, but also more of a tie to the main tributary?
Yes, but also the algorithm picks that up, right? So the algorithm is so you have to remember that a lot of these algorithms were trained on how tech makes its money. And tech doesn't make its money in politics. Tech makes its money in advertising. Right. So when you're training the algorithm to advertising and audience segmentation, then it's picking up, it's creating what we call selective exposure effect or a filter bubble. But if you talk about Kamala Harris and you talk about Kamala Harris, and I have trained the algorithm for me on my TikTok that I like Kamala Harris, I might see both of them.
From Mike and Corey.
Yes.
And so, Corey, I want to bring you into the conversation because you're a social media influencer. You're also a publicist working with others. How does this work when you're talking about connecting political campaigns to people like yourself and those who
I developed this audience of people in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, South Jersey, Delaware, who have come to trust me with my content and my opinions. I started working as a creator in this space with, our governor, Josh Shapiro, and, was invited to these wonderful opportunities to showcase what's going on in Pennsylvania. And that sort of carried through this year where I was invited to the White House for Pride Month, also as a leader of Philly Gay Pride Month, not just a creator. And now I've been going to some of the campaign events and the rallies, and I'm prepping to go to the DNC. And, I think it's an exciting time to be able to cover these events in an authentic way where, my followers are looking for me to experience it just as I see it. If I'm going to a rally, they know on my channels that it's going to be authentic and how I want to, if I was saying that I felt hopeful at events, that's really what I felt.
Through your eyes.
Through my eyes. I guess that's like a great way to say my content is like through my eyes, and that's why I think I've attracted so many followers is, I've been there for a lot of Philadelphia's most viral moments, but they're also through my eyes and through like what I'm seeing and everyone, I guess my followers really know that, if I'm saying it, that's what I'm feeling. I'm not putting up anything, scripted or that, isn't something that isn't authentic. So.
And let me ask you this follow-up question. Like, you have over 98,000 followers. Like, who follows Corey Aversa?
Sure. So, well, with TikTok too, I have 250,000, and I'd say the two audiences are a little different. I'd say on Instagram, it's a lot of people who want to hear and see what's going on in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the larger region, and TikTok, I think it's the same, but I think it's a little bit broader. It's people that are also coming to visit Philadelphia, coming to visit Pennsylvania, want to know about this side of the country. And, I think I've always had a history of being involved in politics. I came from upstate New York, where I was actually the District 1-1, the oldest one in the country.